You know what's wild? We talk so much about food, supplements, and workouts, but almost nobody talks about the most powerful nutrient you get every single day without eating it. Light. Yeah, actual light. The same thing that hits your skin every morning and fills the sky. That light isn't just about seeing the world, it's literally fueling your biology at a cellular level. And I'm not talking about some vague energy from the universe stuff. I mean biophysics, the way photons of light interact with your mitochondria, your melatonin, and even your immune system. The science here is mind-blowing, and once you understand it, you'll never look at sunlight or even your phone screen the same way again. So, let's dig in. Here's the thing. Your body evolved under one main environmental cue: natural light. For millions of years, sunrise and sunset told your brain when to wake, when to repair, and when to rest. Every single cell, from your neurons to your liver cells, listens to that rhythm. It's called the circadian rhythm, your body's 24-hour biological clock. And the master conductor of this rhythm is a tiny area in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. It's like your internal sunrise and sunset manager. Now, how does this system get its information? Through your eyes. But not just your rods and cones that handle vision. You've got special cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. Big name, but here's what they do. They contain a pigment called melanopsin, which responds mostly to blue light. When blue light hits these cells, like the kind you get in the morning sun, they send a signal straight to your SCN. That tells your brain, hey, it's daytime, get moving. But here's the kicker. When you're surrounded by artificial light late into the evening from your TV, your laptop, your phone, you're blasting your brain with that same blue signal. The SCN thinks it's noon. Your pineal gland gets confused and shuts down melatonin production. That's your body's nighttime hormone, the one that helps you sleep, but also acts as one of the most powerful antioxidants your body produces. So now you're not just messing up your sleep, you're literally lowering your antioxidant defenses at night, the very moment your cells are supposed to be repairing mitochondrial damage from the day. And speaking of mitochondria, let's talk about those little powerhouses. You've heard of them as the energy factories of your cells, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Mitochondria aren't just little batteries. They're light-sensitive biochemical engines. They respond directly to certain wavelengths of light, especially red and near-infrared light. Think of those wavelengths as the repair signals from the sun. They penetrate your skin, even reaching deep tissues, and they interact with an enzyme inside your mitochondria called cytochrome C oxidase. This enzyme is like the gatekeeper for your cell's energy production system, the electron transport chain. When red or near-infrared light hits it, something amazing happens. It helps dislodge a small molecule called nitric oxide that tends to block energy flow. Once that block is removed, electrons move more freely, ATP production ramps up, and your cells literally make more energy. That's the biophysical mechanism behind what people call red light therapy. It's not magic, it's physics and biology working together. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. That same light exposure changes the structure of water inside your cells. Yeah, I said water. Turns out the water in your cells isn't just plain H2O. It forms structured layers along membranes and proteins, something researchers like Gerald Pollack have called exclusion zone or EZ water. Red and infrared light expand that structured zone, making it easier for protons to flow, which again feeds directly into energy generation. So light is not just information, it's fuel. But let's zoom out for a second. During the day, sunlight gives you blue, green, yellow, red, and infrared wavelengths all together. That full spectrum keeps your system balanced. Blue light wakes you up, red light restores and repairs. The problem? Modern life chopped that balance in half. We get tons of artificial blue light from LEDs, from screens, but almost zero infrared. Because guess what? LEDs and fluorescent bulbs don't emit infrared at all. You've basically stripped away the healing half of sunlight.
And that imbalance is part of why we're seeing so much fatigue, insomnia, and inflammation, even among people who never leave their desks. Let's get practical. Morning light is your biological coffee. Within the first 30 to 60 minutes after sunrise, you should get outside, even for 5 to 10 minutes. No sunglasses, no window glass, just natural light into your eyes. That morning spectrum resets your circadian clock, floods your mitochondria with red and infrared, and starts melatonin production. Yes, production. Melatonin isn't only made at night. It's synthesized during the day inside your mitochondria and released at night from your pineal gland. So the better your light exposure by day, the stronger your melatonin pulse by night. And here's something most people don't know. Melatonin isn't just a sleep hormone. It's your body's mitochondrial guardian. It scavenges free radicals, supports DNA repair, and even regulates immune signaling. When you suppress it with late-night screen light, you're not just staying up late, you're literally accelerating mitochondrial wear and tear. Now let's talk red light therapy for a second. The research here is growing fast. NASA actually studied it decades ago for wound healing in space. Since then, studies have shown benefits ranging from faster muscle recovery, reduced joint pain, to improved skin health and even brain function. The common mechanism in all of those? Enhanced mitochondrial efficiency and reduced oxidative stress. You don't need to buy an expensive device to start, just get sunlight on your skin, especially early morning and late afternoon when the infrared is strongest. But if you're indoors all day, a high-quality LED red light panel that emits around 660 nm red and 850 nm near infrared can help mimic that natural exposure. Now, people often ask, can light really penetrate deep into the body? Good question. Studies using infrared spectroscopy and MRI have shown that near-infrared photons can penetrate several centimeters into tissue, enough to reach muscles, joints, and even parts of your brain through the skull. It's subtle, but measurable. There's even evidence suggesting that light exposure through the eyes can affect the brain directly, not just the circadian clock, but metabolism, mood, and focus. That's why those winter light therapy boxes for seasonal depression actually work. They help reset the light-driven chemistry of your brain. Now let's flip this now. What happens when you don't get natural light and overexpose yourself to processed light? Well, first, your circadian rhythm goes out of sync. Your cortisol peaks at the wrong time. You feel groggy in the morning and wired at night. Second, your melatonin rhythm flattens out, meaning you don't get that strong antioxidant surge overnight. Third, your mitochondria start losing coherence. Their electron flow becomes less efficient and ATP production drops. The result? Fatigue, slower recovery, brain fog, even metabolic dysfunction. And here's the scary part. Your mitochondria actually communicate with each other using tiny flashes of biophotons, literal packets of light. When that communication becomes noisy or incoherent, your tissues can't coordinate repair properly. Think of it like an orchestra where half the instruments are out of tune because the conductors lost track of time. So how do you fix it? You start by living more in rhythm with the natural light cycle. Wake up and get real sunlight within the first hour. Keep bright, full-spectrum light exposure during the day. Dim your environment 2 hours before bed. Use warmer, amber, or red-toned light at night. Candles are great, or red bulbs. And avoid screens close to bedtime or use strong blue light filters.
And if you can, try watching the sunset. Literally. That changing light spectrum tells your brain the day is ending. The shift from blue-dominant to red-dominant wavelengths triggers melatonin synthesis naturally. Now look, none of this means you have to move to a cabin in the woods or ditch technology. It's about being smarter with your environment. Because your body, your brain, your mitochondria, they all evolved in a world where the light changed predictably every single day. We just need to give them that rhythm back. And this is where it gets profound. Light isn't just external. You emit light. Every cell in your body gives off tiny pulses of biophotons as part of its metabolic activity. When your mitochondria are healthy and coherent, that emission is stable and rhythmic. When you're stressed, inflamed, or out of sync, that light becomes chaotic. Some researchers even suggest this internal light coherence is part of what defines vitality itself. So yeah, maybe you are the light isn't just a metaphor after all. If this changed how you think about your body and health, hit subscribe, because every week I break down the science behind what really drives human energy. Not hype, not guesswork, but real biology that you can actually feel in your everyday life.